So today's date is October the 22nd, 2022. And I'm sitting in front of my favorite tree. This beautiful pink tree. What kind of tree is this? I think this is, I want to say it's a cherry blossom tree, but I am not fully 100% sure on that. But when I look at it, I think because it's pink, it's giving cherry. Or like pink lilac. The other day I saw a woodpecker on this very tree. And I knew it was a woodpecker because dun, 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 it was pecking the wood with this beat like that. Pop, 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 pop. It was going really fast. And it's not that I looked at the bird and knew that that bird was a woodpecker, but because it was pecking wood, I was like, this is a woodpecker. But in that moment, I realized that I actually did not know what a woodpecker actually looked like. You know, so I probably learned what a woodpecker was when I was like 6 or something. It's sometime in elementary school, I'm sure I learned what a woodpecker was, but over time you don't remember what those birds look like unless you're like a bird enthusiast or something, which I'm not. So I took it upon myself to look up what a woodpecker was or what it looked like. And it's funny because a woodpecker has a red afro. They rocking like a red wig. Like it's giving very much lace front. What's the name of that bunny? The bunny that has red hair, and she's like that sexy ass bunny that we grew up with as children. Why was she so sexy? That's so weird. The one with the big boobs that was dating Roger the Rabbit. I should know what her name is, but I don't. So anyways, I looked up this woodpecker and I thought, wow, like I thought it's so interesting that I immediately knew it was a woodpecker, but I had no idea what a woodpecker actually looked like. I don't know why I thought that woodpeckers were like big and just ugly. You know, they're not. They're so pretty and small and black and white, but they have this very like telling red afro. Looks like a red mohawk at the top of their head. And I just thought that was really beautiful to see. And I realized in that moment that sometimes you know what things are even though you don't know what they look like. Like there's this intuition that we have to continue to listen to and follow, because I don't know when I learned that information, but obviously it's stuck with me over the years. And that's very like common sense what a woodpecker is, but until you actually see one, which for a long time, I think that was my first time I've actually seen a woodpecker in person. You know, you don't realize how much your brain retains information. And you know, I could have been wrong. I'm sure there's some other bird out there that might peck wood occasionally. I don't know. But I thought it incredible because, you know, I just instinctually I saw how different the bird looked, and I was like, wow, it's such a pretty bird with that red afro. It's like when you see a raven and you're like, wow. But you know, where I come from, I see ravens a little more often than I would see a woodpecker, but that was my first time seeing a woodpecker. So I think it might be having its babies over here or something, because it kept coming back to the hole and then it would like fly away. But then it would come back, and I'd be like, did you give birth in that hole? I hope so, because I want to see it again. Maybe it's like good blessings. So last night I after I did like jumbo braids on my mom for the first time, and they actually came out really cute, but I didn't finish. I have to finish the top half when she get home. But I went to sleep at around like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have felt that I felt this feeling, you know, that I really didn't want to go to sleep. And I've been feeling that feeling for a little while since I've come out here. Not wanting to go to sleep. Not that I'm not tired, not that I couldn't use the rest. And it's not even insomnia. Literally just not wanting to go to sleep. And I could feel that's the filmmaker in me. Come on. Okay. I could feel myself thinking about all the things that I want to do, all the things that I have yet to accomplish. And one part of my mind was telling me like go to sleep, but then the other part of my mind was like, no, like, you know, you're supposed to be somewhere else. And I felt in that moment that I was like externally reaching outside of myself. I wasn't looking internally, but I could feel myself every night like reaching out for something that I don't have in my hands right now. And to be more specific, I'm talking about dreams that I've had, desires that I've had for myself that I'm consistently wondering, when is all of that going to come into play for me? When are the things that I want going to be a reality if I should try harder and force myself to be in a place that is where I know I want to be, but I may not yet be prepared for everything that comes with it. So what that will be called is FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out. So it's been a lot of that going on, right? I haven't been on Instagram for like 3 weeks, but the other day I had woke up and I was like, I really need to get on Instagram. Like, it was just anxiety. Literally, I got filled with anxiety, and I didn't know where it's coming from, but I knew I just had to like I knew I had to download Instagram. And so in my mind I was like, I gotta check my messages, like people probably been trying to get in contact with me. And girl, I downloaded Instagram, ain't nobody trying to get in contact with me. I mean, I got messages here and there of like different reposts, but whoever really trying to get in contact with me will text me or call me on the phone. So where was this anxiety coming from that I just had to be on Instagram? Because I've been doing good not being on my phone. I've been doing A1 not being on Instagram. I mean, to me, it's just not fulfilling for me anymore. I don't see anything of I don't see anything that I could get from that. Like, if you're not actually like feeding me, why would I post to a feed that's not feeding me? So that's number one. But the fact that I even had anxiety that much, because I had felt as though there was something that I needed to be a part of that I hadn't been. And what I realized was in that moment is that you're going to literally have to just let it go and trust that when you're where you're supposed to be, it's going to be the right time. Because I had not missed out on nothing. Ain't nothing changed. Instagram is still the same, honey. Instagram and all these social media sites, they only getting worse and only getting more distracting. And YouTube and all this stuff, and we just live in a time where the most that you're getting fed is fear and anxiety. But then they tell you to care about your mental health, but that's another conversation. But back to the sleep that I was not trying to have. I believe that I didn't want to go to sleep because, and I haven't been wanting to go to sleep because I've taught my brain for so long to constantly worry about what's to come and constantly worry about the future and constantly think about what's ahead, that this place that I'm in now is so like foreign to my brain that I can feel it trying to push itself back to where it was. And of course I'm not going to let it, because I've taken a journey so far away from where I've been mentally that I have power in my knowing. I have power in me deciding that this is how something's going to go, and it's going to go that way, and I have to be afraid of it going another way and me missing out because I made a certain decision and I should have made a different decision, and because I made that decision I'm missing out on what I could have had if I would have took a left, but instead I took a right. Are you following me? Okay. Because that's how my brain used to work. Very indecisive, very much afraid of being wrong. And I didn't, and it doesn't come off like how I just said it, right? It's so easy to say these words, but when you're actually experiencing these type of thoughts, they don't come out like that. They come out in everyday choices and decisions that you're afraid to make. They come out in the amount of anxiety you have over where you are in life. They come out in the amount of times and the ways in which you compare yourself to other people. There's an obsession that young people have today where we are so invested in other people's lives. And I know that the internet wants to make it seem like that's not the case, but let me tell you something. The people that you see online are not you. And the majority of people are watching somebody else be quote unquote successful and be quote unquote wealthy and rich, and that's quote unquote what you have to be somebody in this world. And it's such a small-minded view, because there's so many other things in this world of value besides what you have in your pocket. But the people that you admire are giving you advertisements for get quick rich schemes, and what it's ultimately doing is leaving a lot of people in a state of insecurity and in a state of worry, because they want it fast, and it don't work like that. I mean, it could work like that for some people, but for the majority of people, it ain't working like that, especially young people. So what happens is you gain this obsession over how you want your life to be, and what you do is you consistently watch people who are living the life that you wish you could live. Meanwhile, you spending more time invested in them than you are in yourself. But it's perpetual. It's something that we've been taught. It's something that you may not even recognize that you're doing. How many hours do you spend a day on the internet? It's not healthy. It's really not healthy for your eye follicles. The Bible talks about the eyes being the lamp to the body. Right? So that means when you close your eyes, it's darkness. When you open your eyes, you see reflections of light. And that's what allows you to be able to see if you're a seeing person. So you must keep your eyes healthy. It talks about keeping the eye healthy. So what you consume through your eye follicles is going directly into your brain, which is changing your thought patterns and telling you how to think about not only yourself, but how to think about the world. So you need to watch what you're consuming with your eyes. And so I've had to really take myself away from worldly things, and I've had to really take myself away from these places that I've found comfort in. But really, I never found comfort in those places. I just found like a pause for my anxiety. Because what happens is you begin to release like endorphins when you watch other people who are living a life that you want to live. It's really low-key kind of sick if you think about it. Because what they're pushing on people nowadays is like VR headsets and put all these things over your face to cover your eyes, to put you in another world that you're actually not living in. Be mindful of that. And the internet is just VR in a particular format. That's all that is. So I've had to calm myself down, pull myself out, and cover myself in something new. You will get where you want to be when you decide how you want to get there. I am much better gaining knowledge and information and planning and gaining tactics for my desired position in life than worrying and rushing trying to get there, and I'm not even prepared for it. There is nothing, everything is waiting for me. It's waiting for me to get there, right? Literally, it's pause. Like, you have to change your perception. Like, we think that the world never stops. And so because we have this perception that the world doesn't stop for us, we believe that we have to keep going for the world. But I want to offer you something else. What if the world stops when you tell it to? What if when you leave a place, it no longer exists anymore until you get there? I mean, how would you know? You can't see it. Sure, we got videos and pictures, but you don't know what's really going on until you get there. You see all this noise trying to distract you from this really good ass information. What if life actually stops when you leave a place? What if you had control over your time? What if when you decide to pause, everything else pauses too? What if you were not missing out on anything? Because I don't know about you, but when you go back to some place that you've been at for a long time, everybody says this, but you say, damn, ain't shit changed, huh? This is a very common thing to say, right? The first thought you have is, damn, shit really is the same. Especially when you come from areas that people like me come from. So what that means is instead of trying to like join the rat race and join the hot dog factory, the sausage factory, instead of trying to join in and be another sausage, why don't you take yourself away from it to become new, to think of new things, to build new ideas, to be a new creature, and to offer something that's never been offered before. See, that's what I'm doing. That's what I do. I offer things that do not exist. I take things from out of here and I put them into newer places. I create the new space. I don't want to go into an old space and do it like how y'all doing it. I want to show you that you could do it differently. I live in the future now. The future is right now. Why you want to be like them? I don't. I used to. I don't anymore. I used to think that that was the route I was supposed to go to be who I am. I recognize that's not the route for me. I recognize that I am strong. I am brilliant. I am highly intelligent. And what this world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is for creatives to actually be creative and to actually be courageous. Because I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a lot of structures starting to fall. And people are in need of brave, revolutionary-minded individuals. And you can't be revolutionary if you're stuck in FOMO. So get out of your fucking head and do something new. And join me. Join me in this community of newness. Because we are the future. God right there. That's Bible. Keep my Bible with me. I 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 keep my Bible with me. Hey. But that's what I have for this morning. And this is for you, my love. This is just for you.